Hello and welcome to Balsamic Games. We are back to our old ways, back to Children of Midnight Coven, with our brand new coven, Witch's Dozen, with the first session tonight. Thank you so much to all the new people and all the old faces that we see in the crowd. Old but beautiful.
All that Botox.
And really looking forward to sharing our new characters with you all tonight. I will give a tiny bit of background on what we are doing here. So let me start with the game. If you are new to Children of Midnight Coven, it is a Forged in the Dark game about wild witches. They have untamed powers. There are many other witches in the game world that are that have accepted being bound either by a semi-governmental organization or by other witches and sort of transferring some of their power around. Wild witches, on the other hand, keep all of their power and join a coven instead for mutual support. So, one such coven that we are following is the Witch's Dozen, a coven that they hope to eventually be 13 members strong. This coven has a significant amount of history within our overarching world. They were NPCs in our previous Children of Midnight Coven playthrough, which lasted 42 sessions, called Night Sky Sanctum. All of that is available for you to peruse on YouTube, and you'll see links in the chat come up every now and again. So these characters were all NPCs of various kinds, and because of that, they have all sustained a bit of trauma. So they are starting the game with 1/4 of the way to having their characters retired.
I'm almost there.
Yeah.
I'm starting with 3 traumas. My character is broken.
They badly need access to a powerful empath.
Therapist.
So I am going to let them all introduce themselves to you and describe their characters as you might come to know them in a few moments. And let's start with Morningstar.
Well, hello, darlings. You know me, but you don't know Cassandra. She is, well, seemingly a very normal girl. Almost dismally normal. She's suffered so much at the hands of our old coven that she was in a bit of arrested development for the past few years, and, well, she doesn't really talk. At all. Or communicate in any fashion with anyone, so it's going to be very interesting seeing how well she can work with everyone. She does not have a very striking appearance. Plain, almost grey hair from stress. No fancy clothes. Modest, because she really doesn't want to be noticed. And her sort of counterpoint is her beautiful white cat, a vibrant Turkish Angora, who, well, might have a name, but of course, Cassandra doesn't speak, so she wouldn't give it to anyone anyhow.
Yeah, so I guess everyone else gets to come up with the name of your cat for you.
It can be contextual.
Yeah.
Everybody has their own name for the cat. It'll be fine.
Everybody's confused all the time. They're all like, there's so many people in our coven. Who are you talking about? The white one over there.
You're going to think of a very hostile name for her because she has a misanthropic disposition, the cat. I'm sure you'll think of a name for her eventually.
Awesome. Megan.
Hi, I am playing Max. They are a Gorgon, Gorgon anarchist, and based on the trauma that they had with their magic disappearing after the cleanse and then coming back later, it's kind of messed with her genes a little bit. So instead of snakes, she has geese for hair. And as in regards to that, she's gonna have to be very careful with how she does any kind of espionage. But she's currently dealing with everything by living by herself and just trying to make it day by day because she doesn't know where her parents are. She wasn't able to find them after everything happened with Night Sky Sanctum. But looked up heavily to Yarrow, and Seth kind of raised her while she still could and taught her what she could know based on the resources that they had available. And she's just going to try to do her best. Doesn't really know what to do.
Yeah. We're 5 years into the future after Night Sky Sanctum broke up. Fell apart, I think we decided was a better term for that.
Well, two of the characters are seemingly dead.
Yeah.
So, and Seth is hibernating.
I have
Which
written
is,
in my
looks
notes
like
that
death
Seth,
as well.
I've written in my notes that Seth is now hibernating in the sand at home base at the Coven until there's any kind of news about the Coven mates.
Ah, very cool.
Broke up or ended or all that. It doesn't seem like the appropriate term.
Definitely died is not the right word. But
As far as everyone knows.
seemingly dead definitely fits. All right. Andrea, you want to tell us about Jex?
Yeah. So Jex is a Median blood fire witch, meaning that she consumes the blood of living creatures to fuel her magic.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's cool. Because of her traumas, she is a moody, unstable type of person. She looks like the Antifa that your grandmother warned you about.
Ooh.
Yeah, she's ready to kick butt and take names, and she's not worried about being super nice along the way. She has a vampire bat familiar whose name is Iker. He is a very gluttonous little boy, so he is all the time trying to steal a snack. Let's see, her parents were Scarlet Incarnation, and when she did not want to be bound into the Scarlet Incarnation like them, they became less supportive of her and have kind of left her to fend for herself. And so that is why she is now seeking out more connection with the 13.
All right. Azelwyn?
Well, I'm a Zilwyn, but today I will be playing Timbo the Himbo, who is wonderfully head empty. Spent the time as a little lad playing on the beach so much that him and Seth developed a close relationship, and basically water's gonna water because Timbo the Himbo is a lovely Squatch siren. So he likes to begin a lot of his spells with a hi ho and then gets it going. And that can drive some people mad. But basically once he got his powers back, he got some beautiful, luscious, shiny golden hair and a big old tuft on the chest and a pompadour. And for some reason, all of a sudden, he like a really grumpy Raka sheep showed up when he got his powers, and it told him its name was Baphomet. So he's pretty little gluttonous little sheep who will probably fight with Iker for some food. But he's really judgy too, and it's really funny because Timbo the Himbo will like to ride on Baphomet, and he's got this big body with a little Baphomet, and he's holding the horns and riding along. But pretty much, he's just a wonderful head empty, no insight. he's gonna Leroy Jenkins some things probably. He just thinks all things are beautiful, even monsters. So he just wants to pet everything. But he absolutely likes to sing, and he has a power he likes to call Mulligan. So, which so he can re-roll because he's like, I'm beautiful. It's okay. We can re-roll. So we'll
It's
have
true.
a lot of.
We can re-roll.
And his rival, I want to say, is Puck because he is very threatened by Puck. Because he's threatened by Puck's beauty and his masculinity and his big beautiful horns, and he's just like they never get along. So anytime we're gonna have a friendly interaction with them, it'll be
Nice.
interesting.
Yeah, since Puck is the Coven contact, he'll be around a lot. So yeah, as far as NPCs go that you will probably see a lot of here, it is Puck, who is a Coven contact. He is from House of the Ram, or at least he was a few years ago. They decided that he no longer earned his keep. So he spends a lot of his time around let's see, I'm trying to think of a good way of saying this. The apartment building, the high-rise apartment building that this coven has taken over and made invisible so that people leave it alone. And he is basically...
Magically squatting.
Yeah. He's basically become the elevator guardian. He stays invisible in the elevator, and when somebody speaks the right words, he inputs the correct combination to send them up to your Covenstead. So he's been a whole lot of fun, and I'll turn myself up. Hopefully that helps a little. All right, and another NPC that you might be seeing a lot of is Isaac. He was the youngest member of Witch's Dozen back in the Night Sky Sanctum days. He was about 2 years younger. He had a, I would say near-death experience, but it was a beyond-death experience.
He was murdered by one of our coven members.
Accidentally. And, but he got better.
Better.
Yeah.
It was a temporary murder.
So, Isaac has been around since the very beginning, but for some reason he has never gained any powers. Very similar to Cassandra, I guess. Nothing has ever really come to him. He's had little sparks and fizzles, but yeah, nothing major. So he'll be hanging around, and he is sort of a... he has the face of a 14-year-old, but the body of a 18-year-old, and the whole gang sort of treats him like he's still a kid, still a little kid. And since he can't really fend for himself magically, he tends to stay back in the Covenstead a lot as well. So, the player characters, we had talked before we got on here and mentioned that you are all interested in finding some of the lost members of your coven. People who don't know, really, that you have formed a coven recently, now that you've taken over this abandoned high-rise. And so part of your future quests would be to check in on your siblings and bring them back into the fold. And
But we are specializing in cons and heists. Yes,
very.
it is a staple of cons and heists to get the crew together. We have to get the crew together. That is our focus first.
This is true. So, some information... I forgot to mention, you also have a coven patron by the name of Jack Spiderstripe, who had a long and varied existence back in the Night Sky Sanctum days. But at this point, he is a fae spirit that sort of haunts your establishment. And
No longer bound to a statue, I'm assuming.
he is no longer bound. But he, in his haunting, he also haunts your minds. He provides a telepathic link between all of the members of the coven, at least those who have bent their will slightly toward his. So he is able to provide telepathic communication between you despite all your distance. And it is an unending source of fun and entertainment for him, which is why he is willing to pay that cost. And he is able to tell you a lot about sort of the goings-on of the Fae, because he seems to still be connected to them in some ways. So as we get started, what would anybody like to sort of develop as far as facts about the Covenstead, this high-rise apartment building that is currently shielded in a spell that makes it invisible from the street and makes people forget that there's any floor 13 or above?
It's not particularly elegantly furnished.
Eclectic.
I'm thinking milk crate furniture.
Gotcha.
It's the cardboard box set from.
Animal
Yeah.
There's a
Crossing.
lot of IKEA,
Yeah.
certainly.
There's a sofa where it's two different sofas that we've somehow nailed together.
Oh yeah, did anybody...
Maybe Max did that, magicked them together.
Yeah, I was gonna say a little mending goes a long way. You get two broken chairs and mend them into one partially working chair.
There's just always a half-eaten pizza.
Nice.
Yeah, none of us know how to pick up after ourselves. We didn't have proper parents.
So
We're in our dorm room days.
I think we're also in a tagging battle with the Red Caps, so I'm imagining this whole building is completely decked out in all kinds of murals and graffiti.
yeah, it's graffiti, but it's like never higher than crotch level. They never seem to get on a ladder and get up there, and yeah.
Yes, sometimes it's a look.
So some of the information that just came in through the grapevine, let's see, where might Timbo have gotten the information that Ixia, one of your sibling sisters, has gotten herself into some trouble?
Let's see. I would say... I would say maybe he was hanging out at the beach, and somehow he had a little conversation with Seth at the beach, and because Seth had the omens, correct?
Yeah, Seth is so deep in hibernation that the telepathy doesn't even give you access to their mind or their knowledge. Sadly.
That is one sleepy fish.
Yeah, but
Or fish not found.
Well, knowing Timbo, he's just taking big old strolls out on the sidewalk, and he goes by where like I guess they had the main captives, and he just so happens to see a glimpse.
Yeah. I think you spot one of the so there is a place where witches usually get taken when they are arrested for any reason, and that could be to the Order's headquarters in Central Park, Belvedere Castle, or for particularly heinous crimes, they're sometimes taken to Rikers Island. However, the boat that you see going out and people protesting a boat going out is that it is going to a Obsidian Council facility, which is a jail for mundanes. And you see some of Ixia's friends in chains aboard the boat, and they sort of wave Timbo down and yell to you before they're apprehended and pulled down below decks that Ixia is aboard. She's unconscious, and they're taking her to jail.
Kimbo, he's just like, hey, friends going on a cruise, I see. let me let my friends know that you might be gone for a minute. And I just like literally relay what I'm seeing, and they obviously know what's happening, but I'm just like, enjoy your cruise.
Yeah, you see them putting some handcuffs on one of them, so it's a kinky cruise.
He's just like, I don't kink shame.
So yeah, this is only a few blocks from your Covenstead, and you're able to catch these telepathic communications from Timbo.
Like, guys, how come we can't go on a cruise? I want to go on a cruise.
With what money, Timbo?
We could sneak on somewhere. I am a siren.
They're obviously
Imagine how many cute women would be on this cruise.
Do any of you think you might recognize the Obsidian Council? I know Jex and Max both said that you are anarchists / Antifa, so I feel like they sort of would have been on your radar.
Yeah, for sure.
Let's have both of you roll one fortune die
Okie dokie.
and see what you know about them, or I'll let you determine what you know about them. Jex knows a little, and so does Max. So why don't each of you give me one fact that you know about the Obsidian Council? How have they gotten in your way, or how have you gotten in their way in the past?
And you said it's a mundane prison, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're the mundane police force and the mundane prison force.
They're cops. They're just cops.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, just stinky little cops.
I have a cop as one of my rivals, because in order to make some money to survive, Max will enchant fake luxury products and sell them on the street of New York.
Nice.
So I'm sure the cop is it's definitely run into Max a few times, but Max's products might have been what got in some of these mundanes in prison.
All right. Yeah, do you want to tie this cop to Obsidian Council?
Yeah, like maybe he at least knows somebody from it. I didn't flush out his character too much.
Yeah, sure.
So maybe he's got a buddy in the precinct or something that works in that division, or maybe he works there. Who knows?
Yeah. I mean, every once in a while they end up prosecuting witches because it's a mundane crime. So, yeah. Awesome. How about Jex?
Jex knows where their prisons are.
Okay.
I would assume there's not too many mundane prisons, but she would at least know where they are.
Yeah. Let me look that up. Alright. Yeah, there is... yeah, New York Corrections. It is going to... yeah, it's going to be about a half a mile north of you guys and then just across the Hudson. It's not the kind of thing they'd usually take a boat to, but they must have just happened to need to pick up a lot of people, because that boat seemed like it was overflowing. I mean, hence Timbo thinking that it was a party boat. So, yeah, you definitely know that. And, yeah, Max, you have a rival that you have some information about that has worked with mundane police before. So, yeah, that could come in. What's the opposite of handy?
Footy.
Footy. Yeah. I'm pretty sure that's kinky too. All right. So, is that something you guys are interested in? You do have some information about some of your other coven mates and where they might have gotten themselves off to. I mean, one's on a beautiful sunny vacation outside of midnight somewhere.
You said England, didn't you?
Yes, I did. Oh,
That
that's
is
true.
not a
Maybe
sunny
not sunny.
vacation.
Well, why can't we go on vacation? If we can't go on a cruise, we can go on vacation.
And another is simply, I mean, you don't have easy access to a boat or anything, but is not too far away if you did have access to a boat, just out on Rara Avis, one of the islands nearby.
Steal that cruise ship back from the pirates.
That cruise ship is in the deep astral. It never
Oh,
came
right.
back.
That's true.
Yeah.
Of course. It's an astral cruise ship.
Mhm.
No, never mind. I'm sure I know who's on the astral cruise ship now that I think about it.
Well, I'm sure Jex would prefer to go after their friend on the prison boat just because, stick it to the man, break people out of prison,
Mm-hmm.
cause
Is it-
problems.
Yeah, you're...
It's all located right now, even. Are 3 of us at base and Timbo's on the beach? Is that what's happening?
Yeah, not too far away.
Okay.
And you know very well that Ixia can handle herself when it comes to being imprisoned. But there must be something else up, because there's no way she would let herself be... this happened to her. She is a fearsome Gorgon of the snake variety.
Not the goose variety.
Not the goose variety. And she is a her skills are in close combat. She's not the kind of person that gets cuffed against her will.
Well, we need to get this person out immediately. We sound like we'd get along great. I'll hold him from afar with my long old arms, and she can go in and get all the quick stuff done.
All right.
And if this is a prison, we need to get her out.
Yeah.
Cassandra kind of really aggressively shakes her head. She does not want to get involved with the law.
Timbo, literally plops his arm down so hard that Cassandra buckles it. Oh, come on. It'll be fun. It'll be great. We'll have a good old time. You'll get some guff about you.
The cat starts hissing.
Oh, you won't do nothing much to me, little pussy. You'll be fine.
The worst thing about getting stuck here is that you're stuck here with Isaac when everyone else leaves.
So Isaac is with who?
What's that?
Isaac is with who?
Whoever stays behind.
Uh,
He stays at the Covenstead. So that's the worst part about being the one that gets left behind. Not that anyone has to get left behind. 'Cause he'll
I
talk
have
your ear
a-
off.
my familiar Mr. Crumbs has the disposition of nurturing, so he's going to see how uncomfortable Cassandra is, and attempt to get close and stand in front and make a cute little face, but like being very apprehensive about the cat. Just like I'm trying to help, but that's there.
Sandra does not want anyone paying any attention to her, so she's going to scoop up the cat and just kind of hold it in front of her. Which is, of course, a defensive position as well, because that cat is certainly going to scratch anyone who comes close.
Yeah. Yeah, Cassandra's gonna need some convincing for sure.
How far away is our Covenstead from this beach boat dock area?
Oh, only a couple of blocks, but it's the wrong direction.
And how far is this prison?
Less than half a mile. But across a river, so
Yeah.
you'd have to take roads or subway, probably
Across a river, so you have to take the road.
or the subway. Probably
Or swim.
Yeah, 15 minutes. Yeah, swim.
Would the magical Hudson be less disgusting than the real Hudson?
Oh no, worse, for sure.
I don't want to think of what the magical Thames is like.
Well, I
Cool.
could just grow real big and step right over and just hand you guys right over in my hand. I do have abyssal form. I can be big boy.
Nice.
I have to figure out what powers I have. I have to look at this all over again. It's brand new.
You are on the you're kind of on the fist fighting side too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're just a whole bunch of scrappy fellas.
Well, Cassandra isn't, so...
Well, what was the form that you said you just had, Zoan?
It's abyssal form, so I get to grow to perform an incredible feat of physical force, or engage a small gang on equal footing of close combat, or redirect violent attention towards me, so I can be a good old tanky boy, and away from all you all. And each action I take in that form costs 1 essence, so it's a whole new power.
Nice.
And since I'm already big, I'm a squatch. I will be very big.
Oh yeah.
Do you get hairier when you get bigger?
Oh yes, my hair becomes even shinier and silkier, and people can just hold on to it. It's great.
Like a half giant seal, half Sasquatch.
Yeah, all the young girls when we were younger always like putting flowers in it.
Cute.
I
As
don't mind.
someone
It
with
made me
the
more
long
handsome.
hair, it doesn't end when you get older. The younger girls, the older girls like it too.
Well, you don't have to
Oh,
worry.
I have.
Go ahead.
Oh, I have a wonderful brush that makes it so shiny it will blind people.
You don't have to worry about how you get places. You just have to decide what you want to do about it, and then we'll figure out how you get there based on how well we roll. So.
Okay.
Yeah, I was thinking we would just go straight for the prison and try to maybe beat them to the pass.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
Ooh.
they are heading up by boat, and yeah, you can probably get there faster. That makes sense.
Hey, if we intercept him, we don't have to break in. Great idea.
Awesome. Okay. Yeah, so what would you like to use as far as your method?
Well, like the undertaking method.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, no, I'll have to find a coven sheet.
Oh, Vice loves your bone necklace, Andrea.
Okay. I think it would definitely be like a rescue mission.
Mm-hmm. Oh, cool.
I can't find a coven sheet.
Oh, it's back one folder from where your character sheet is.
Yeah.
Find everybody else's character sheets. So I was trying to look through everyone's powers. So I specifically picked sigil craft, so I can make a general or grimoire power conditional with whether it's mine or somebody else's. So I was like, oh, what other kind of cool stuff can everybody else do?
Yeah.
I also have deep melody. Of course I do if I'm hi-hoing across the place. I can just sing and basically I can charm them, make them go to sleep, or drive them to madness.
Wow, that's incredibly useful. High utility.
My vibrato just makes them... I keep singing sea shanties.
I legit can't find it.
Okay, I will check.
Looking for the coven sheet. Let me see.
Yeah, the coven sheet. I feel like it's on the front page of the character sheets.
No.
No? Coven.
I have a coven sheet open. Shall we go through?
Here it is. Yeah, it's on the second page of the coven sheet. Methods are arcane, assault, deception, pursuit, stealth, and social. Sounds like pursuit, maybe?
Like pursuit, we're trying to catch up.
Yeah, and for the detail, it's your trail. So, are you going to take the subway? Are you going to try to run? Are you going to, use some powers to get there quickly?
Well, I don't have anything that will move me any faster than normal people.
Same.
Good,
I guess the subway would probably be the fastest, or because I don't know, it's only half a mile. We could probably run faster than the boat could float down.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, plus the boat.
The subway would definitely be faster than a boat.
Yeah. The boat is going to have to go under bridges, and yeah, it's probably going to get slowed down many times. I was thinking beat the boat would be like a 6 o'clock. Okay.
Could I potentially use greater telekinesis? It says I can use it to distantly manipulate items with both strength and dexterity. Mm-hmm. So if we're having to weave in between things, could I potentially use that to make us zoop, zoop? Let's get there. Or not how that's meant to be used.
I mean, you can use it anyway. I think you could definitely use it to like slow down the boat. But I think if you're taking the subway, you won't really be able to manipulate the tracks. But as far as if you were like running or something, you could use telekinesis to like get yourselves over obstacles.
Okay.
Yeah.
Get yourself a skateboard and use telekinesis on that.
We'll just all sit down on a longboard.
So I'm gonna say
move that sofa that you've buggered.
So I think beat the boat is going to be a 6 clock, and we're going to start with no ticks on that clock, and then based on the engagement roll, we'll figure out how many ticks we're going to start that clock with. So, okay, I like the idea of using greater telekinesis on the whole group to help you avoid any obstacles. So, let's see. That's a general power?
That's a grimoire power.
Oh, sweet. So, how about 2 essence?
Okay.
And I'll give you guys +1 die on the
Okay.
engagement roll for that. 'Cause, and then I'll let you describe that.
Okay, so it says 1 essence and focus, so...
You don't need to roll this
focus roll
time.
as well?
You don't need to roll this time, but the 1 essence is if you're doing it against like 1 target. Since you're doing it for the whole coven, we'll say 2.
Understood, okay.
I was telling somebody the other day, when you add essence, it doesn't go like 1 person, 2 people, 3 people, 4 people. It's like 1 person, a group of people, a huge group of people, everybody on the street. Like it goes up like massively when you
The
use.
whole city.
Yeah. All right. So after going through the engagement roll questions, I'm thinking this is going to be a 3-die engagement roll for you guys to try to beat the boat. And that was not quite the worst possible roll. So as always, the dice spot hates me, but that's okay. So that means that you are going to start out in a desperate position. I think when you guys arrive at the... you guys leap using telekinesis. You leap over the crowd in the subway and right over the turnstiles and everything and head down. And right when you get to the bottom of the stairs, you see the subway car pulling away.
I hate that.
And Obsidian...
My day's already ruined.
Obsidian Council security is already down here. And so when they see you come flying over the turnstiles, they're immediately aggressive toward the 4 of you and pull out their billy clubs and start heading toward you. And one of them immediately calls in for backup. So
This is very, very American.
Mm-hmm. So
Where fair evasion justifies a beating.
exactly. This is grand larceny on the scale of about $8 US. Yeah, and I'm gonna say because it's desperate, they actually call in. They don't call in the Red Watch, but they do call in backup from Ever Vigilant Eye. So you're going to have a stream of assholes running into the subway stop shortly. That is.
Don't they have something better to do? Actual corruption to do with? No.
Chastity says,
No, it's just fair evasion.
as
Just
a
call him the...
as a native New Yorker, this feels 100% accurate.
Oh my god.
Okay.
Well, should we get out of here?
Yeah. If you turn around back the way you came, you won't face any resistance immediately.
Cassie immediately turns around and starts going the other way.
Well, you
Well,
follow...
this seems to be a bust.
Yeah, you turn around and follow the crowd. What about Jex and Max?
Well, Jex will flip the guys off and walk out of the building after Cassandra.
Okay. Max?
I'm imagining my geese are already pissed off.
Oh, yeah.
Seeing the cops. So they're hissing and squawking, and I'm just like kind of grabbing them, like, come on, let's just shut up.
Okay.
Drawing attention. And yeah, I'll just like follow out and like double bird, like along with.
Gotcha.
I mean, I got like a bunch of birds already up top. I might as well flip 2 more.
Right. Okay. I'm gonna say This is not going to require any kind of roll because you are doing exactly what they want you to do, despite the fact that you are doing it under duress and it is not in your happy place.
This is the problem, is that if you guys follow my lead, unfortunately, Cassandra does not want confrontation.
Well, at this point, we don't want it either. We just want to go save somebody.
It's not confrontation time yet.
We're not going to fight the cops. It's probably a good idea. We don't go fighting cops in our first time. Save that for later.
Well, as long as we can get to the surface, I think I can get us there.
So as soon as the four of you turn around and sort of re-enter the crowd, people start spreading out and giving you guys an extremely wide berth. So you're able to make it back through the turnstiles and out. But as you're ascending the steps, you see two skinhead-looking guys standing at the top of the steps, wearing red armbands, and they are listening to a police scanner. And they hear a repeat of the description. And when they hear the sounds of Max's geese honking that Max is trying to keep under control, they're like, it's them! And they yell up to some other people up at the top. I'm going to say it's down to Risky because you guys, left the cops. But these guys look like Evervigil and I for sure. And...
I've got a question.
Mm-hmm.
While I have Mesmerize as a general power.
Yeah.
Is it more effective because I have more eyes?
The increased effect on things is definitely not a linear thing. I can absolutely see that working. You bring every pair of eyes you have to bear on them. It's just like geese
horrifying.
heads.
All these geese just looking at you.
Awesome. Yeah, do you want to try to mesmerize both of them?
Yeah, I'd like to try to mesmerize to make it so they either completely ignore us or they just don't register we're there and we can just walk by.
Yeah. You get to choose what you want the intent to be, and then.
I'm going to. My intent, I would like them to just completely miss us, so they just stay on the stairs, like continuing to wait for us to come upstairs.
Mm-hmm.
So what would I need to roll for that? I haven't had Mesmerize before.
I think it impacts sway rolls, so by default it would be a sway. And then you can use, you could get an assist for an extra die, you could take a Fey Bargain, you could, and you could push yourself to get extra dice.
I'll blip 2 willpower for an extra die, because if I'm rolling focus, I only have 1 in focus. So I'll do that so I can get 2.
Okay. Alright, I'm going to say that's risky and greater effect. So greater effect is going to cancel out the fact that there's more than one of them, so we're back down to standard effect.
Okay.
So half of your geese are looking at one, half of your geese are looking at the other, and you're like crossing your eyes to...
Come on, guys.
Seems like you should try getting your geese in a row.
Easier said than done.
Yeah. Alright, that's risky, and you got a partial success. So, you got a success at a cost. I think one of them just mind blanked. Like, he turns around, forgets his friend is even there, and he literally just about faces and walks off, leaving the other guy there with his radio in his hand. But this guy is pissed now, and so he winds up and he's going for your face.
Timbo's just like, that's right, you know what's good for you. Walk away, walk away.
So I'm going to say he is going to try to throttle some of your geese. He's just going to get his hands around your geese and throttle them. So you're probably looking at level 1 harm bruised geese.
Bruce Keys. Oh, poor guys. Okay.
Do you want
Can I-
to?
He won the goose strangling contest.
Mm,
Do you want to resist that, or Jax? Do you want to protect, or?
I feel like that makes sense. Like, I'm inexperienced with my magic because I haven't had it very long. So I'm like, oh, I thought that was gonna work. So bruised geese.
Bruised geese.
And
Yeah, I
Ego,
would
I'm
like to
assuming.
do blood arsenal and have
Ooh.
some spikes, and I want to body check him.
Okay. Awesome. What's the cost on that?
1 essence
Nice.
to cover my body with bloody bony spikes.
Yeah. Do you want to describe what that looks
Oh.
like to everybody?
So Jex's clothes are always full of holes, but not because it's a stylistic choice, because she has this ability where she can basically shoot out spikes from inside of her body, outside of her body, and they're just bloody, bony, and they hurt real bad. And yeah, so she's gonna boink those all out and just body check this guy.
Nice. All right. What do you want to use for that?
I assume brawl would probably be the best way to do it.
Yeah, I feel like this is like absolutely outside of the expertise of the Ever Vigilant Eye. Like they have no defense against this. They're wearing regular street clothes and everything, and they've never been like body spiked from all directions. So I'm absolutely gonna say that's increased effect.
I'm trying to figure out if I can swing this more as finesse than brawl.
Yeah, it depends where you try to put those spikes.
You know what? You could put them on like your shoulders, like a punk jacket, and then I can try to just like grip him and we knock him down the stairs.
Yeah, okay. I'll try to be a little bit more specific and just on my shoulders and yeah, run into him football style, shoulder first.
Nice. Okay. And do you want to like try to get a spike in his like heart to kill him, or
No, I'm
in
not
his
trying to kill him. I'm
throat
just trying to hurt him and get him to let go of the geese and get him out of our way.
Okay.
More just to like, hurt his
Incapac-
pride and yeah, get him out of our way.
Nice. Okay. Awesome.
Better
Yeah.
than I'd do to someone in a red armband.
Yeah. I'm gonna say risky greater effect.
And I am gonna spend 2 willpower and bump this up.
Okay.
Ooh.
That is a complete
Ooh,
success.
yay!
All right. Yeah, you get to describe where that spike goes and what it does to him.
Okay, so we're
You'll be
probably
colourful.
yeah, we're probably relatively close in height. So he's got his arms out holding on to geese. So I get him in his like armpit, like up and under him, and kind of knock him off. So he's got like a bloody armpit and sore shoulder, and no more geese in his hands.
Yeah. Yeah, he falls backward, his head kind of hits the pavement, and he gets up dazed. Radio is broken on the ground, and he just kind of squeals, turns, and runs away.
That's right.
Following after his compatriot. And I'm going to say from that risky roll earlier from Max, I'm going to put 1 tick on that, or I'm going to, I guess, I was going to say the beat the clock. Yeah, but it's kind of like -1 ticks, I guess. So it
So
is.
now it's 7 out of 6.
Yeah, it's become a 7 clock, and 0 ticks.
Pie chart's looking real weird.
So the boat has gained on you. So how do you want
We
to
just
get over
swim
there?
past it.
I'm gonna say we're down to risky.
if we can get up to the surface, Timbo just is gonna give a huge big old whistle, and Baphomet's just gonna come galloping with the little hooves just a going, and Timbo's like, "All right, y'all, we're gonna
Timbo Paul Bunyan.
yes." So basically, Timbo doesn't even ask or nothing. He just swoops everybody up on his shoulders, and he's just like, and then he climbs up on Baphomet, and he's like, "Let's go!"
Wow. Okay.
And so Baphomet tries, and he's a strong little goat, though. I mean, he's a big goat, so, but Timbo is even bigger.
What kind of goat did you say that was? I hadn't heard of that kind before.
It's a Raka sheep. They have the
Okay.
really long, twisty horns,
Oh,
so
cool.
good for holding on to. Like
Nice.
basically, Baphomet's kind of my motorcycle. That's also a sheep.
Okay. Okay.
Oh, you just looked them up. They're cool.
What do you think you would use for that? I think this is going to take some kind of an action roll,
Well, for
carrying
sure.
3 people, but you are a Sasquatch, so...
Oh, for sure. But also, Baphomet, he's very grumpy. He doesn't want to be doing any of this. So I would say a consort roll, because he will not move until I actually sweet talk him and get him to move for me.
Okay.
Because I think carrying wise I'm good, but it's more or less let's get this grumpy sheep going, guys.
Okay. All right. So I think I'm going to require consent from everyone that's getting manhandled, Sasquatch handled, and sheep handled here. Are you
Those
all
fuzzy I'm in.
okay?
Cassandra's not happy about it, but she's not going to resist.
Okay.
The cat is definitely not going to be happy about it. It might try to bite.
Those nails are already in like Cassandra's arm.
Oh no, you want to watch out for the nails. The teeth aren't so bad, but the nails, I mean, it's not a clean cat.
There's just a little scratch. I'll be fine.
Just a little bit of infection.
All right, you want to try that consort roll? I'm gonna say you risky standard.
All right, and I'm gonna lay on the extra consort or 2 willpower. I'm gonna like basically tell him he's gonna get all his favorite treats.
Nice.
It's like we really got to do this, my bud. We really got to do this. Yeah.
Oh dang, that's a close one, but that's a complete
Goodness
success. All right.
It was back and forth. He said,
Okay.
All right.
You
Only if
to
I get some
describe-
donuts.
So you get to describe this. It sounds like you are gonna gain. Let's say, you're gonna gain two ticks against the boat. Or, well, 1, and we're gonna reduce it back down to a 6 o'clock again.
With the promise of donuts, his little clippy cloppies are going so quick, like it's just a blur underneath them.
Are they good donuts?
Oh, the best.
Mine would be too, then.
Now that I know what a Raka sheep looks like, I can only picture like all the donuts. Like,
Yes.
Oh, on the horns. Yeah. Fit a dozen per horn.
He particularly likes fry bread, so.
Oh. Okay. So, yeah, I think he goes for as long as he possibly can, and then the weight of everybody, he's gotten used to where he can do Timbo and maybe like one other person, but yeah, he just gets sort of ground down, and he is exhausted. But you guys have made it a few blocks north. And are definitely headed in the right direction. You can see the boat on the water, not too far ahead of you. But yeah, they haven't seen you yet either.
Surprising. We're quite a sight.
You guys are like a block in and facing and going the different direction than them, so yeah. All right.
So is the boat gonna have to go under the bridge before it docks on the island?
Yeah, it's got 2 bridges ahead of you of it. So if you don't make it on the first bridge, you'll still have another chance.
Yeah, so I was thinking maybe we jump off of the bridge onto the boat.
Yeah. All right. I think you aren't quite in the fictional position to make it to the bridge fast enough yet, so you'll still need something else to get you closer. But if you can get close fast enough, you can beat them to this first bridge and try to jump on aboard.
Well, I guess we're gonna run.
Yeah.
Just run your hearts out.
Well,
Yeah.
we're just on like the street in New York, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Or Manhattan or midnight.
Why don't we steal someone's bike?
I was gonna say, can I push somebody off a longboard and then use greater telekinesis to kind of like whoosh us all over, or like at least someone else on the board with me?
Yeah, I think there's there's a car going past you that has a longboard on its back, up on its roof.
Yank it off their like carry rack.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Okay.
your telekinesis is strong enough that it can definitely carry everybody at once, so
Okay.
that's not gonna be an issue. So you,
I guess I can use Could I use the telekinesis to yank it off the car as well, or would
Yeah.
that be a secondary move?
yeah, all in one. Mhm.
Okay. So it calls for 1 essence, but if I'm trying to move everybody, then what do you think is an appropriate level of essence?
Two again, like before.
2 again? Okay. So I would like to do that then, hunker myself down, tell everybody, hang on, and then like we're all just gonna hop on. Timbo's got like grabbing by the horns, just like lifting Baphomet up. So he's going along for the ride. So he's tired, he gets some wind in his face.
Let's make it 3 so you have long enough to fly it all the way over there.
Okay,
Yeah,
sounds,
that sounds
good.
good.
3 essence are popped now.
Okay, so I'm gonna give you extreme effect. So
Okay.
if this is successful, you're gonna get 5 ticks and you'll be on the bridge.
Oh, cool. Focus. And because I only have the 1 and I'm terrified, I will pop 2 more willpower to
Nice.
make this work. Otherwise, we're all gonna come crashing into the gravel on this longboard,
Yep.
which could happen anyway.
Risky. Ooh, 2 5s. All right.
Ooh, that's
Uh,
2 5s. High 5.
Yeah, that is success at a cost. So I'm gonna say
Lies in our teeth.
it is
I'll take
for
that.
sure. I'm gonna say it is reduced effect, but all it's gonna reduce you down to is you're gonna be on the bridge with and the boat is going under the bridge, so you're gonna have to time your jump while it's coming out from the underside.
Okay.
So it'll make it just a hair harder than it would have been if you were getting it from the front. All right. So, yep, the longboard goes sailing through the air. At first, you're just on this huge arc, and you're all holding onto each other, and you just sort of feel this, like, group hug of telekinetic force coming off of Max and holding you guys all tightly to the board. But you take that first, like, leap, and then it's not enough. So, like, it, like, dips down and then flies again, and you guys can all feel your stomach, like, rise up into your chest and back down, and you end up having to make, like, 3 big leaps before you land on the bridge. And, yeah, you see the boat just start to go under the bridge as you land, and the board gets ground down to just about dust as it finally comes to a stop. And there are cars on the bridge that are honking at you guys, and they've kind of split to the side, so you guys are like in the middle of 3 lanes.
Okay, I'm honking at them too.
They honk you
Timbo-
honk back.
Timbo's holding Baphomet out like on Titanic. Look, you're king of the world, Baphomet.
Nice. All right. I think let's take a real quick break, and we will be right back to see if they make it onto this boat in one piece. Be right back. welcome back to Witch's Dozen, our Children of Midnight Coven actual play, episode 1. The Coven, or at least these 4 members of the Coven, have just landed. Thank you for the gifted sub, Bishi, for Albtron Ferry, so they can get their spinny cats back. That's so kind of you. Spinny Cats in chat for that. Thank you all so much. So they, thanks to Max's ingenious use of greater telekinesis, they have all landed on top of the bridge, and the boat that they're trying to catch that Ixia is on is just floating along underneath them. So it's about a 25-foot drop from where you are onto the boat. So how do you want to get down there? You have about 15 seconds or so before it appears on the other side of the bridge, and you can make your descent.
Looking through my
I'm
powers.
gonna jump.
Yep.
Hey, I was like, hey, let's jump.
Jumping is a thing.
I'll jump a second before, and everybody can land on me if I fall. It'll be great. I'm big and
Nice.
squishy. I can take it.
Soft and fluffy.
Soft and
Yes. Everybody aim for the chest. My pompadour's been quite big.
all
I
right.
have to imagine. I absolutely cannot accept a world where Timbo is not utilizing hairspray on his chest.
Oh, he brushes it quite often too. He takes his little super shiny brush out and he brushes it until it gleams.
Mm.
Does he tease anywhere? Like,
Oh, yes,
specifically on his eyebrows. Like,
The chest hair is an actual pompadour. He does it every morning. He gets up and he puts a little pompadour on it, and he'll put a little bow just cause.
oh, just sometimes he wants to feel pretty.
Yes, this is fine.
Oh my god, I love it.
He's like, it's my finest quality. I was so glad when we got our powers back. Puberty hit me like a brick.
I mean, if Timbo wants to just like grab my arm and Max just be like, "Well, shit, here we go," like,
Yep,
that's fine.
it's like, all right, everybody under an arm, let's go.
I have an adequate first aid kit that might help when we get to the ground.
Yeah, it's all about just bending the knees. I'll land fine.
Yeah, I don't think Max would jump on their own,
Mm.
just because they don't have the powers to back it up. But if someone were to just like push him off or pull him off, they probably wouldn't do anything about it. Just like, well, this is my life now.
Mhm. Yeah,
Cassandra's certainly not taking a jump.
Mhm. I feel like if Timbo goes first, that would be risky because of your large size and everything. And then everyone else going would also be risky because Timbo is down there. But you know, there are definitely a lot of risks there. So
Well, I could go
Actually, less
first.
risky, you
And
could do a group action and we do like the skydiving thing where we all hold hands and go down in a circle.
I don't think that helps in jumping off of a bridge.
No.
You still break legs that way.
Mm-hmm.
how high is
Still
this
holding
bridge?
hands.
Like, how
25.
far is it from the boat?
25 feet
25.
from the boat, yeah. So if you were hanging off of it, then it would only be about 18 feet. If you were hanging off the bridge.
Let's get hanging.
Well, I could use my abyssal form, get really big. I could hang off, and you guys can just climb down me.
Mhm.
I can make a good ladder too.
And just slide down like a rope, yeah.
Mhm. Yeah, so abyssal form usually uses like a sea creature, so you would be like a version of a Sasquatch plus a sea creature. So yeah,
Like a fuzzy octopus.
yeah, you could be a
There's
fuzzy
a lot of
octopus.
Like,
You could be a gigantic, fluffy walrus, Like,
Fluffy squid.
Oh, let's see. As I'm going through my roster. What would be, because it would be giant and fluffy, and you need to climb down me. I'm either an octopus or just a big old cuttlefish.
Oh.
So I have all
You're
my tentacles
seaweed.
up front
You
to
just
hold
turn
on.
into seaweed.
Oh, just seaweed, yeah.
all right.
I could. Actually, I have a good idea for seaweed.
All right. Well, I think then that pretty much only relies on Timbo, and everybody else can kind of get a free pass if what Timbo's trying to do works out. So, what do you want to use for that?
Let's see. I think for abyssal form, it's just. I'm not sure what action. See, each action taken in this form costs 1 essence.
Right.
I would probably use some finesse because that would take some finessing to do.
I think so too. Yep.
And let's see because what I'm going to do is I'm going to grow out all my hair into little seaweed things, and until like basically I just turn into giant seaweed. It's just like my body just disappears into it. It'll be fun.
Nice. So you're like gripped up at the top, and then seaweed hanging down onto the boat. And
There's just two big strong hands, and then just seaweed.
Nice. Yeah, I'll
I
say.
just thought of something disgusting. You could be a giant barnacle. Barnacles have the giant penises, and you could just hold on, and we could slide down your dick.
Yeah.
I mean,
Okay.
yeah.
Nice.
Timbo's like,
Okay.
hey,
It's a sea
sounds
creature.
wonderful. Let's ride down my giant sea creature.
Let's say risky standard.
Okay. I will give it a couple extra willpower as well. That
Yeah,
way
you guys are
I
eating
can...
up that willpower. Awesome.
Yeah. We have some to eat up at the moment.
It's the best part
Yeah, we don't know what we're doing.
Oh no! Okay.
He got distracted by the fact that it was a big dick.
Now, this might be my opportunity to finally have
Yeah.
some input here, because I have Dark Future,
Ooh.
and I can increase the effect level of something, or rather, I can, make a 1 to a 3 into a 4 to a 5
Yeah.
after the die have rolled.
Yeah.
Don't worry about it. I'm calling Mulligan, and I'm just gonna re-roll that thing.
All right, you can do it too.
I was gonna say we could have Cassandra do something first.
Yes,
so-
let's see. Well, hold on. I do want to see this kid do
Let
something.
Timbo
Hold on.
get the perfect penis. I respect it.
Let's go for it. I'd
Yeah.
like to see if that happens.
So,
He's
what?
turning into a giant penis, and he's literally like a hairy squatch. I don't want to know like how much at the point.
So,
Harry Johnson.
what is Mulligan, or what is that one? I don't remember that power, but
It's augury, where you get to re-roll a die
Ah.
for any action 3 times. But Tim calls it Mulligan because I'm not
Yeah,
saying that. It's
yeah.
Mulligan.
okay. So the difference is, in Cassandra's case, you actually get to see the dark future play out, and then you get to decide in what ways that you want to change it. In the case of Mulligan, it would just be you start to slip, and then you see an alternate future, and you go for that instead. So, what do you guys want to do? Either way is super cool.
Oh, I want to hear what
the Mulligan sounds great, honestly. The dark future would be Cassandra desperately trying to assist when she thinks everything's going to.
Yeah.
So if Timbo has it, Timbo can have it.
I guess the difference is, in the case of Timbo's power, you could still fail, and then Cassandra could come in and reverse
indeed.
that. Okay.
Indeed. So you can make more attempts, and if things get worse, I can be here.
So you can use that up to 3 times, and each time re-rolls 1 die. So just do !1, and you can do that as many as 3 times.
We're just gonna try 1.
Okay. That changed your 2 to a 5, so now you basically have a 3 and a 5. So that's a partial success. Do you want to re-roll any more dice? 'Cause
No,
you can
I
keep
think
the 5 and re-roll the 3. if you'd
I
like.
think that's good
Okay.
enough, but it somehow turned. My hair is now permanently seaweed when I turn back, and I hate it. I hate it. It's emotional trauma one. Like
It's like emo kelp across your
yeah,
face.
yeah, and I hate it. 'Cause I very much love my hair.
You look back up at everybody and you're like, "Where are you?" Sorry. All right.
Gavin's so sorry for that.
Very.
Don't be.
Probably in this house, that's something you hear probably 3 times a day as I make that joke, but
Ours it's been.
Oh my god, we're literally jumping off the bridge. Tonight will be the night that I fall for you.
nice.
Over again.
God.
Oh man, that's terrible. and
Put on enough
perfect.
eyeliner for this.
Yeah. Okay.
Hey, I'm a siren. I'm gonna break out in random song this whole coven.
Yes, do it.
Okay.
Contractually obligated to.
So, yeah, you like glue yourself to the bridge and you start to transform downward. And as your kelp starts to touch the boat, it's like getting dragged forward, and you start sort of grabbing onto pieces, and it starts pulling you away as whoever's first on your back is trying to like slide down. Who wants to go first? First?
It's a kelp slide. Let's
Kelp
go.
slide. So as Jex starts to climb down you, you get this glimpse of a foretold future from a dream or a nightmare that you had recently, and you grab a hold even tighter, even though you feel like you had the best possible grip. And Jex makes it down to the bottom, and then quickly the others follow, then you sort of
Because the cat was biting at Cassandra's heels.
you tumble downward and land at the aft of the boat, but more or less safely. But then, yeah, when you try to transform back, some of the kelp sticks with you. And you are now all aboard the boat, safe and sound, and you can hear commotion under deck, as they're definitely aware that they have been boarded.
Okay, so they're all below deck.
Yeah.
So I think Jex is gonna go start looking for a door to get down there.
Okay. As you approach the door, it comes swinging open, and you see a heavily armored Obsidian Council guard come out, and he has a rather large and vicious-looking stun baton. It has like a gripper on the end, and it's currently flayed out, and you can see electricity going across between the little prongs.
They've upgraded since Night Sky Sanctum.
Yes, it's been some time, so now they have better stuff.
So he's kind of hunkered down a couple steps below deck, and he's got this thing pointed up at you. And but right now you guys are sort of standing off from each other at about 5 feet distant, and it doesn't look like he could quite get to you from where he is, but he's kind of jammed in that porthole, so he doesn't really have anywhere he could go but backward, and he's blocking your entrance.
I still have my Night Sky Sanctum instinct to just say gun at this instant. just
Guns.
A power
Yes.
word
pull
bullet.
it out. But we don't have a gun. We're children. We're American children, so
Right,
we should have
so
a
you
gun.
could still
but-
have guns.
Just in our pencil case.
Yeah.
Uh,
So Jex,
I'm just gonna use deep melody, and I'm gonna see if I can just sing him to sleep.
Mm.
Is Timbo actually just Jigglypuff?
Oh, can be for
A
real.
big
Well,
furry
and since we have
Jigglypuff.
the emo seaweed hair, it has to be some kind of emo melody to sing to.
Nice. Okay.
When I was a young
Parade
squatch,
slow. Yeah.
my father took me into midnight.
No, I just start singing "Wake Me Up When September Ends," and literally I'm trying to put him to sleep until the end of September. I don't know what day it is now, but
Oh my god.
let's see. I'm trying to see what would be the best role. Is there a role for that for the deep melody?
That's a good question. Probably, I think focus, but I'm open to arguments. You want to describe what that allows you to do?
It says deep melody. I can speak, whisper, or sing to an individual and choose one short-term effect: sleep, or charm, or madness.
Oh, nice.
Ooh.
Okay. So yeah, you pay the cost and you have that capability. I'm gonna say with one person, you just choose what you want to do to him.
Yeah, I just want to put him to sleep.
Okay. You spend the essence, and then you start singing, and down he goes. You checks. You see that his device has automatically turned off when he let go of it, so it stops pulsating electricity. And you see this sticker on the side that says that it is a hex-locked device.
Can I take it?
I don't think you can. That sounds like you can't.
What is this
Do you wanna try?
shenanigans?
I mean, I'll give it a go. I'll try.
Yeah.
I don't imagine I've engaged with these things before, so I may not know what it is. So
Yeah.
I'm just going to try to grab it.
Judging by the device itself, it does look very, very new. It looks like it probably hasn't seen any real use before. And you pick it up, and it seems perfectly normal. It's, feels very comfortable to hold in your hands. It's got several different triggers that probably do different things. But when you pick it up, it doesn't seem to want to work for you.
Okay. It's not hurting me. It's just like a stick in my hands.
It's just a big stick in your hands.
I got a stick, guys. I got a stick.
I have a
Found
stick.
I'm gonna take
Love
it with
it.
me. If it's not hurting me, now I have a weapon, so I'm good.
Right, yeah, and you see the Obsidian Council guard is sleeping on the floor quite soundly. It's going to be a little hassle to step over him. You hear people calling out to him on his radio, and he's not responding.
Cassandra feels left out, so she's going to look for something else that's stick-like.
Okay.
So she also has a stick. It doesn't need to be an impressive stick. It just needs to be a stick.
I mean, I'm using my powers and Cassandra's not. I'll just hand her my stick. You can have my stick.
But you don't know that because she can't talk to you.
Oh, well, that's true. And she's not.
You don't know she wants a stick. You just know she's looking around.
She hasn't communicated any of this telepathically either.
No, she
Okay.
doesn't talk to you. She just wants a stick.
Okay, then hands off. It's my stick.
Yeah, I think you look around, and there's just not a whole lot above
Oh, no.
deck.
Sad Cassandra.
Yeah. Yeah, it seems to have been cleared off.
I mean, if she asks nicely, I'm sure I'd be willing to give it. But otherwise, I don't know she wants it.
Yeah.
Mm. The cat might just steal it from you eventually. Who knows?
Okay. So are we trying to go downstairs now past this guy, or?
Yeah, downstairs.
Okay.
All right. When you step over him quietly, and head around the corner. You see the people who are calling on their radios and trying to get a hold of him, and you're all standing around the corner from them, and it sounds like they're about to probably head up and see why he's not responding.
So, can I go ahead and try to use his radio? I know it might not work, but I want to try to use that radio because I've got perfect vocal recall. I heard him shout a little bit before telling Jex to stop before. So I got some of that voice.
I'm going to make a fortune roll and see if it's Hexlock. 1 is bad for you. So when you pick the radio up off of him, it goes completely dead, and you see on the back of the radio it has another one of those stickers that says, "This device is protected by Hexlock."
Timbo literally just like, well, this thing's useless, and just smashes it on the ground. He doesn't even wait. Just
No stick.
Yeah, try to just pick off the sticker. No, it doesn't work.
When it hits the ground, it makes a loud squeal, and you hear like several other radios squeal that same frequency around the corner, and that tips you off that they're coming around the corner right when that happens. Luckily, these guys don't seem to have the advanced weaponry that the first guy did, so they come in and they are brandishing handcuffs, and I think that would be Max is probably the first person they see when they come around the corner, because you were the one that had the stick.
Right, I'm just there with the stick, like, that's what it looks like. In that case, I'm going to try Words of Power.
All right, there are 3 of them.
So 3 of them, so that'd be how much essence? 3 essence? It says 1 to 3 essence, also in brackets, focus. Speak a word of power.
Yeah, it depends on which word of power you're using.
Yeah, I just like to use stun.
Okay.
If they just don't move, then they can't hurt me. So.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I think stunning 3 of them would be 2 essence.
Okay.
1 for the power word and 1 to enhance it so that it affects more than one person.
Got it. Okay, I've ticked 2 of them now. So that'll be 2 words of power on stun, and do you need me to roll anything?
Yeah, you can do a focus.
Okay.
And that's going to be risky standard.
Okay. So let's just tick 2 more willpower, because I'm terrified of my piddly focus number.
That's a partial success.
Ooh.
So, let's see. I think it goes off exactly without a hitch. Your stun hits all 3 of them and blasts them back. 2 of them hit their heads. They're closest to the wall. And so when they hit their heads, they're both completely unconscious, both stunned by the spell and probably stunned physically as well. The third is kind of cushioned on his impact, and so he's stunned. He's like dazed, but he's still standing and kind of blocking your way. So I think that's the partial.
Am I in danger from him?
Nope. The next action is going to be he is not going to be able to defend himself.
Okay.
Jex, you want to jump in? You're probably closest otherwise.
Yeah. I think I will just try to do like a kick to to his legs so that he'll fall down.
Okay. All right. And that's going to be what, a brawl?
I'm gonna do finesse since I'm trying
Okay.
specifically for his legs,
Okay. Sounds good.
and I'm gonna do a willpowers.
Say, risk, let's say, yeah, risky standard, since that won't really, like, knock him out or anything, so, but it will get him on the ground.
Yeah.
All right, partial success. So I think, let's see, risky partial. Yeah, I think he hits the ground, and he's the sort of stun wears off, and he has the wherewithal to hit his radio, and he just hits the button a couple of times, and it immediately starts this like alert signal.
Okay.
And you can hear several more radios in the next couple of rooms that are all squealing that alert. So it's triggered
Okay.
an alarm. Unless you want to resist that.
Yeah. Let me try to resist that. What do I resist that with?
I think it would make sense for that to be insight, for you to see him going for his radio and stop him.
Okay.
Um,
And that is a
exclamation point,
Point
insight,
to-
R.
okay.
Who is that?
Did it do it?
Yes.
It did sound like an odd voice, didn't it?
Yeah.
Wherever did that come from?
It's the exact same roll.
Nice. Okay. On a...
That's not nice.
Well, sorry. You didn't do an R, so...
I did.
Oh, that is the same roll. That is literally the same roll. You put it in the wrong chat, that's why.
Did I?
You put it in movie night.
I put it. Oh, it's right underneath it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Alright, exclamation point 2R.
Okay.
You're like, that's the same roll. Okay, that is a better roll. But
That's
it's still
good.
a partial success. So you spend 1 willpower, and
Okay.
you can describe how you had insight and prevented him from setting off that alarm.
I see that he's going to reach for his radio, and since I'm already relatively close to him because I just kicked him, I'm gonna go ahead and grab that radio off of his. I don't know. They wear him on their shoulders. That's what I'm imagining.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna go ahead and grab it away from him so that he can't get it.
All right. Yeah, you grab a hold of it, and as soon as you have it in your hand, you hear it click and just turn off.
But that's good because Cassandra was definitely going to go into a panic.
And from the floor, he starts kicking at you. It's all he can do down there. So he's sort of holding you off from going around the corner and into the next area by sort of kicking his legs into the air. But
The cat goes down and starts clawing at him.
okay. What do you want to use for that, and what's the intent?
A distraction, I suppose, so that somebody could do something more meaningful. Although this cat has fetid claws.
Hmm.
I don't know what the actual role would be for that, though.
Maybe brawl, maybe finesse. Let's see. Maybe target, depending on if the attack is targeted.
Perhaps finesse. The cat's trying to slash at him where it'll do the most irritation.
Nice.
still not really going to go very well.
Just say risky standard.
I was in the wrong chat there for a
Oh.
moment. All right, now
Common
we'll throw a
problem.
little bit of willpower behind it, just because I haven't used it yet.
Yeah. Complete success. You get to describe that.
So the cat just, once the human has been downed and is thus very much within swiping range, the cat leaps out of Cassandra's arms and starts scratching at its face aggressively in an effort to debilitate the human as effectively as possible.
Yeah. He
Cat's
curls.
gonna-
Yeah. He curls up into the fetal position in the corner and is completely out of your way. And is just anytime he starts to like uncurl, the cat just like swipes at him again, and he's back in his
A vicious growl.
yeah. And you see the wounds, like the wound on his face immediately starts to sort of peel open from the claws.
Yes.
All right.
Cassandra has not been taking care of those nails.
Well, let's go find this feisty friend.
So you expect that there is probably some kind of control system that you'll need to access the cells, and you'll probably have to worry about. You might have to worry about the captain and whoever else is there. Because, yeah, you come to a big metal door, and it looks like it is probably both mechanically and electronically sealed.
Maybe I'm eclectic.
It's like, yeah, we especially with this hex lock, we need an eclectic.
Mm.
Well, wait, well, is it? I guess it would still work on an eclectic.
Eclectics do have some ways around that, yeah.
Okay. Because there's. Sorry, I'm just trying to read all my bits.
My bits.
My bits.
I want my bits. So I think you can hear Ixia calling out from behind the steel door.
Okay.
Like, I can't punch my way out of this cell. I'm gonna need some help. I
tried everything. Punching didn't work, and kicking didn't work. I don't know what else to do.
Yeah, she can hear you telepathically now that you guys are close, and she's conscious again. And you're looking around, and just, there's another door that looks like it's a little bit less armored, and that's probably where there would be access to some electronics, but you're worried that without an eclectic, that might cause some trouble.
And there's not like a keyhole or anything like that?
No, there's like a swipe card.
None of these guards have swipe cards?
You could go back and search their bodies.
So
I'll
sorry,
go-
what
I'll
the
go
door
check.
looks
But
like?
none of them are dead.
Yet.
Yeah, not
What
yet.
does the steel door look like? It's just like a big sliding, like bolted door.
It's since it's on a ship, it's not quite as like hardcore as that. But it's rather thick, and it definitely looks like it has some electromechanical locking mechanism to it.
Okay.
Did you happen to take the power that lets you unlock locks?
I didn't. I'm looking at it now like stupid.
That is sometimes for some. I mean, words of power is really great, But yeah, it can be very nice to have the unlock all doors button. Okay, so as
Surprisingly
Zilwin, what is that power that Timbo has? Is it just the shape of him that gets bigger, or does he get stronger during that as well?
Oh, it says grow to perform an incredible feat of physical force. So
Because I have something called Impart Essence. So you said you need Essence to do that, right?
Mhm.
Or is that
Oh,
willpower
yes.
to do that one? Because I could just... Anyone who's willing, I can transfer Essence from somebody to you as long as it doesn't exceed what you have. So if you need a bunch of extra Essence to just go wailing on this door...
well, I was
I could do-
wondering if is there room on each side of the door for like a wall? Is there like still wall? Because instead of going through the door, we can go through the wall.
Just bypass security, punch through the drywall.
Yeah, Timbo's just like straightforward, like, yeah, screw the door, there's a wall, and just like use abyssal form to grow the fist so big and just punch through the wall.
Yeah, I'd say you sort of take some of the exterior bits off the wall. You sort of just scrape it off with your big, meaty Sasquatch hands. And you scrape it away, and it is metal boat hull underneath the wall there as well. It looks like this boat was... This is definitely an Obsidian Council boat. It is made... It's a prison ship, so the walls are pretty thick. And just as everything is looking dire, and you might not get Ixia out, we're going to shift gears and we'll do the next as part 2, and we will do XP. So we haven't done XP on stream in a million years. So if everybody has access to their character sheets.
Yes.
So I feel like, Andrea, you probably... Well, I guess all of you probably know the XP rigmarole.
I have to do it my XP triggers.
We do, but our followers might not,
Yeah,
because it has
exactly.
been a very long
Been
time
long.
since we've done it on stream.
Yeah, and when I was talking to some of the other players that they play Deseret on alternate Tuesdays, so they'll be here in our spot next week, and they were having issues with XP because it can be a little confusing. It's a little bit different than other games. So who wants to start, and we can go through the whole process so everybody knows how to do it. How about you,
Probably someone who
Morningstar?
did more than me.
You haven't.
I didn't do much,
But
so it
you
might
also
be
haven't had
easier.
a lot of chance to talk.
That is true. I suppose let's start with me, and let's pretend like I don't know what I'm doing, because I don't know what I'm doing.
Let's also remember that you can recontextualize things that happened in the game. So even though your character didn't say anything, if you give us the context of why your character did or didn't do certain things, you might be able to get experience for that.
That is true. Well, then, let us start. So, addressed a tough challenge with Galaxy Brain or Patron's Help. Must use those to get my first triggers. But I'm not actually sure what Galaxy Brain actually refers to in this instance. If it just means a brilliant move, then I can say that that did not happen.
Yeah. It's sort of like thinking outside of the box on steroids. So, yeah.
But I might say that the Patron's Help was involved in the cat jumping forward in a way that I don't want to go in too much depth because it has some spoilers.
It is a secret to everybody.
I'm trying to keep it secretive so it's fun
Don't
later.
let the cat out of the bag.
Yes, exactly.
All right. What do you guys think? Is that 1 XP worthy?
Yeah.
I think so.
Okay. Yeah.
1 XP. Then, expressing my heritage, disposition, aspect, or beliefs. The heritage, being a Median, did not come up. The disposition being sensitive also didn't really come up specifically.
I would say potentially with the fact that you did end up joining them because they needed you.
That is true. That is the only reason Cassandra went along, is because she felt that she was needed by her siblings. So that is a matter of sensitivity there. For beliefs, I would say that she very much tries to avoid conflict.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a very core part of her beliefs. And as soon as she saw Ever Vigilant die, she turned around right the other way.
Mm-hmm. Awesome. That sounds like your second XP for that section.
Yep.
All right. And then struggled with issues from my trauma, casting style, or consequences of harm. Now, this is very difficult to have in a first session, really. Although we do all have trauma,
Mhm.
I suppose if we look at my trauma, panic attacks, soft and haunted, I don't necessarily know that I played it out very well, but certainly one of the reasons why Cassandra did not act much is because she was panicking,
Mm-hmm.
as she tends to do under pressing moments. So if you all agree with that, I might take a point from that. But other than that,
Yeah, I definitely say that counts.
Mm-hmm.
right.
So 4, that gets you either halfway to a new Grimoire power, or 4/6 or 2/3 of the way to a new action dot.
Which is true. I'm going to put them all into Grimoire for now, just so I can keep track of them.
Cool.
And then if I get 2 more, maybe I'll just bump them into a...
Yeah. Yeah, downtime actions can give you some more experience, potentially, at a
It's
later
true.
time. When we don't stop right in the middle of a session. All right.
No downtime today because we're stuck on a boat.
Yep. We're on a boat.
I'm on a
Bonus
I got my
rate.
flippy flabby.
Take a good hard look at the motherfucking boat.
Max?
Okay, so address a tough challenge with an artifact you crafted or calculation. I didn't do either of those.
So you will have, you do get a free artifact design, which we haven't talked about yet.
Okay.
So we actually did a Love Boat episode in the previous Night Sky Sanctum. We had a Love Boat themed episode.
I love that.
That was really good, yeah. So definitely Elegons, go back and see if you can find that. That's probably around the middle of Night Sky Sanctum Season 2. But yeah, that was really funny. Maybe
So
near
many marvelous NPCs introduced that we never got to see again.
yeah, that's true. I
my
think it might have been around the beginning of Season 2, now that I'm thinking about it. But yeah,
Maybe.
I
We did a lot in season 2, so who knows?
Yeah, the floating market was the target of that one. Yeah, okay, so Max, you said addressed a tough challenge with...
With an artifact I crafted or calculation, but I didn't do either of those, I don't believe. So I don't think I get anything for that.
I don't know, I think you had to do some mental calculations, some trigonometry when it came to hoisting everybody on that longboard multiple jumps.
Okay.
There was some...
There's some very intense physics involved in that.
Exactly.
I mean,
worthwhile.
Timbo's huge, and I have to figure out the center of gravity for everybody. So
Yeah.
Exactly.
And then right after you had figured it all out, he grabs up his giant sheep, and you're like, "Oh, my calculations!
my math!
Out the window! I need another napkin."
And someone will write on their sleeve, goddamn.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So I guess 1 for that, because I can't think of anything else for crafting or calculation that I actually did. I talked about it in the beginning of like what my character's capable of, but I didn't actually do any.
Yeah.
Expressed your heritage, disposition, aspect, or beliefs. So my heritage is Gorgon,
Yeah.
and I made a point of asking if the multiple eyes would help me
Mhm.
with mesmerize. So
Yeah.
I think that's one.
Yeah, you brought out your
Okay.
geese.
They were honking at all the cars too.
That's
That was
true,
another-
yeah. That
Does
was
that count? That was just like a throwaway RP.
It's
That-
role play.
Yep.
It's you mentioned it.
counts.
Okay, okay. So I guess that's
All that
two
matters
there.
is you bring it up, darling.
Yep.
And so that's a max for 2 there, so
Nice.
I'll move on. Struggled with issues from your trauma, casting style, or consequences of harm. I mean, I received harm, but I didn't struggle from harm. And
Maybe next
my
time.
casting style didn't really come up. I got to try a bunch of different powers, which was cool. But I don't think anything really happened there, so I think it's a max out for 3 for me. Next.
Only 3? Morningstar
I
got
think
4
so.
and you only got 3?
I don't think I have anything else, because I didn't have any. I got bruised geese, but I didn't
Mhm.
suffer from my bruised geese. And then I
Well,
didn't
what's
emphasize
your
on my-
trauma again, darling?
My trauma is nightmares. So I didn't have
Oh,
anything.
you should get a point for that. I meant to give you a nightmare. I actually meant to start the game with your nightmare. So maybe if we have time at the end, go ahead and take a point for nightmares. Because if I don't give
Okay.
it to you now, I'm going to give you that nightmare. We'll have a flashback
And
to
that's
your
a
nightmare.
stretch.
Because it's a good one.
Gavin's gonna message me at 3 in the morning. Like, got it.
I told you I wouldn't do that anymore when it comes to your character. I'm sorry.
Oh, it's good.
Okay, so 4 for that.
Okay.
Andrea?
Yes. Let's see. Addressed a tough challenge with dramatic flair or deviousness. I kind of feel like my football spiky shoulders were a little bit of a dramatic flair,
Oh, for sure.
and my
I mean, I would
Bird
call
flipping.
stabbing people in the middle of the street pretty devious.
Mm-hmm.
bird flipping of the police officers is devious.
Yeah.
You almost got yourself into a lot of trouble there.
Mm.
So I'll take at least one for that for sure. Let's see. Expressed your heritage, disposition, aspect, or beliefs. My heritage is Median, so that didn't really come up. Let's see. My disposition is moody. I didn't play super moody today.
You flipped off the cop.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I don't know if that counts as moody. She still is just pissed.
It's
That's
just
just
How you're
one
supposed to respond to calls.
right.
Exactly, that's standard.
You did shoulder check a young Nazi. So
Yeah.
that was good.
But that is how
But
you're
that is,
supposed to
again,
respond
the-
to Nazis.
exactly.
That's not about being moody.
Mhm.
I think that
The beliefs,
fits. Yeah. I think that fits with my aspect, which is the tower card. I knocked
Ooh,
that
yeah.
sucker on his
Oh,
butt.
yeah.
So I'll take one for that.
Okay.
Let's see. Trauma, casting style, or consequences of harm. I don't have a casting style yet. Dang, I need to think of that.
Yeah, I was gonna ask
Isn't
once
the
we
blood
get to the
casting
end.
style?
Yeah.
I figured mine out, but I don't want to spoil.
You're right.
Well, I guess mine is using my blood.
Yeah, isn't that it?
Blood in general things. So I did use my blood for magic today,
Yeah.
technically, because I have to. But I wouldn't say that was struggling.
Right.
Perhaps,
That's just
perhaps
how
in
it
the
is.
future, if it takes
could
a bit
be
of
a
harm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Then
like
it's a
maybe
struggle.
There's a
Even
couple of
amount
them that
times
you have to
blood
take harm
loss.
for.
That'd be cool.
Yeah,
Well, that's a struggle.
Mhm.
yeah.
Just like anemic.
And I'm trying to find my trauma. My trauma is unstable.
Yeah.
Well,
I wasn't particularly unstable today. I was on task.
Yeah. Yeah.
I was on task.
I agree.
So yeah, that's 2.
No.
oh, there's gotta be more in there somewhere.
I mean, I
I
could
feel
take.
like I really stretched mine now.
Yeah, everyone help like us stretch. We gotta help like Andrea stretch.
What was your address to
I
tough
could
challenge
take
with?
dramatic flair or deviousness. I could take one for both dramatic flair and devious, and that would give me 3.
I think so.
think the
Okay.
spikes are both. That
Yeah.
was very
Mhm.
dramatic and devious. That's
Remember, you can
Mhm.
take both, or you can do
Yeah.
one multiple times. Either
Yeah.
way, I think it fits. Yeah. Yeah, at least 3. All right. Timbo.
all right. Timbo's got this. Addressed a tough challenge with gracefulness or fascination. Well, it was, I think, I had to be very graceful talking to my poor Baphomet and getting him to carry all of us at once. Fascination, pretty much Timbo's fascination, but fascinated by everything. So he's just, but I didn't express that, so I'll just take one for that. Let's see.
You fascinated the with your siren song, your Call of the Deep.
Well, you will
Oh,
fascinated to sleep. I will, like, yeah. I'll take stretches for that, so I'll take two. Express your heritage, disposition, aspect, or beliefs. Well, definitely disposition because Timbo is jovial. So everything just come on, bud, let's do everything, and he's pretty much happy about everything. He doesn't get grumpy.
He was
Let's
grumpy
see.
about the seaweed hair, though.
A little
that-
bit, yes.
Probably.
And then let's see. His aspect is the Fool, and this was a new undertaking, and we had just started it, and the Fool is starting a new journey.
Yeah.
So I feel like that's kind of a given for any new undertaking.
Yeah, and you were the one that literally started this journey too.
Mhm.
And your heritage was a big deal this entire
Yeah.
time.
True.
For it's like the hair.
So
So
that's 2
Mac,
on that
you can-
one.
So I see. So far, it's 4, and then let's see. Do I struggle with issues from my trauma, casting style, or consequences of harm? The only one I can think of is I did struggle with my hair. I'm still very upset about it, and it still hasn't returned. I'm gonna have to figure something out about my hair.
It's gonna
I
stick.
feel
with
like,
you.
given how many times we gave me points over Elise fussing about a dress,
Yeah.
Right.
I'm gonna just keep my emotional trauma 1 for that. I'm still very traumatized by the loss of my luscious locks.
Going back to Jex, I think beliefs ACAB is definitely worth a point.
Yeah.
Oh,
So,
yeah. I
pop
should
Yes,
yourself
that's
up to
important.
4. That's a huge part of your character's beliefs.
Mhm.
There was
I'm just gonna put
beliefs
ACAB
are
on
honestly
mine.
one of the most important things you need to be acting out.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And you definitely did.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. So everybody got at least 4?
Yep, I rocked it up to 5.
Okay.
Ooh,
Awesome.
exciting.
Ooh,
Okay.
good
All
first
that extra
session.
hair.
All right. And normally we would do downtime next, but because we stopped in the middle of an undertaking, downtime will get saved until the next. So I wanted to do a flashback to Max waking up from their horrible nightmare. So, Max, you are, well, at the time, you don't even realize that it's a dream yet. You are ascending a gilded, beautiful staircase in the middle of a tower that just rockets up several stories high. Almost crystalline glass all around the interior. And you are headed up this staircase. You turn back and you look behind you and you see Timbo, Jex, and Cassandra. And there are several other people behind them that are all faceless. Their faces are just gone. But you have this feeling of like camaraderie with them or recognition, even though you can't see their faces. And it's just then that you feel very powerful, like love and camaraderie. And then as you turn back around, your eyes scan the walls, these beautiful purple crystalline walls, and you see all of these crystalline statues that follow the staircase upward all along the side walls. And they are of humanoid figures with weapons and armor, and they kind of look like Templars. They're wearing like religious iconography. And you shout something, but even your voice, it just echoes weird in your own ears. And you don't even hear what you exactly said, but it almost sounded like a battle cry. And you just feel yourself rushing up the stairs and your comrades behind you. And as you approach the top of the stairs, you see the statues on the wall start to break free from this like crystalline structure that's like holding them back. You crest the top of the stairs, and as you do, you see this big hexagonal stage almost set against the wall. And in the very center of it is a throne. And on that throne sits a figure wearing a giant hat and religious garb. And he is resting on his throne with a cane at his feet. And he starts to sort of shakily rise, and he pushes back his hat and his hood, and you can see this wrinkled face of the Pope stand and look you right in the eyes and says, "I've waited so long for this." And he stands, and you see his robe push outward as these demonic wings stretch out from his back. And just then a shadow is cast over you by him growing in size. And that's when you wake up, covered in sweat, with Isaac standing over you, shaking you, asking you what's the matter.
The Pope is a demon?
I must admit,
Yeah,
darling,
but-
when you said the Pope's robes blowing open, I immediately imagined that scene in Emperor's New Groove with the knife.
I have not seen that movie. I still need to see it.
It's so good.
Thank you for the
Fine.
Doug Dimmadome reference, by the way. Because when I first said it, I was like, oh shit, why did I say he had a giant hat? Because now that's all I can think of, too.
Owner of the Dimsdale Timber.
Yeah. So, that is, there is a question. Are you seeing something that will happen in the future, or are you just having horrible, horrible nightmares? A question that we might come back to in the future. So, thank you all
Dun, dun, dun.
for being with us for the very first session of Witch's Dozen. I hope that leaves enough interesting avenues for us to explore as next week they try to get further down into this ship and save their sister Ixia from the
We
Obsidian
spend a lot
Council.
of time on the ocean. My God.
Considering Manhattan is
It's
an
not
island,
a nautical game.
it really isn't. Yeah. So, and the Raisa Rave is here in chat, and she is the one that made the character Ixia that the NPC that they're saving. So maybe she'll be a guest star on our channel very, very soon. And let's go ahead and quickly go through where everybody can find us online. We'll start with Morningstar.
Well, if you're looking to find me online, you need to only type the Cytherian into almost any search bar. I'm active on Twitter, Facebook, and less active on Instagram and Tumblr, even though I know I need to be. And we have something that we've been working on for the better part of a year coming up this week. A major sponsorship promotion thing that we've been
Awesome.
very invested in. So I'm very much looking forward to showing that off. So make sure you're following me. See that. Megan is working there adorable little derriere off, making sure that those edits are perfect for Fry.
Awesome. Well, Megan, go ahead.
Well, like Morningstar said, I have no butt left because
Completely gone.
I'm working. It's totally gone. It's just a board. But I'm the editor and photographer for the Morningstar content, and like he said, we've been working on this particular set for quite some time now. We've actually shot it 3 times and had to redo it because we just weren't satisfied. We've gone back and done revisions to edits, photography, as well as the costume design. So
When you
we're very
put this
happy
much
with
effort into something, it's got to be perfect.
Exactly. So we're very excited for the release this week. We're putting the finishing touches on it. Final finishing touches. Getting all my words jumbled up. But I have my own links as well, but there's not too much there. If you want to find anything that I am attached to, it's probably better to go to the Morningstar links. Everything else is just kind of a personal Fluff and Guff page. But if you are interested in Fluff and Guff, you can go to Seafoam Workshop on Twitter, Instagram, or Tumblr. There isn't very much there, just a warning. So go to the Cytherian or any of the Morningstar content for our regularly posted content, and you'll receive more things there, because right now it's just as I get time to filter things through over to other pages. But we hope you like everything we post, so go and check it out.
They always do.
Thank you. All right, Andrea?
Yeah, I'm Andrea. You can find me on, Twitter and Instagram and Twitch at The Wildwood Witch. This week on Wildwood Witch on Thursday, we will be celebrating Imulk. So, yeah, we'll be talking about all those good, witchy celebration things and getting ready for springtime stuff. So we're really excited about that. And I think that's about it.
All right, Azalea?
Well, I'm Azalin. You can find me everywhere at Azalin. Coming up, I just finished doing a cannabis shoot for modeling, and we're finishing up the editing on that. And those pictures should be up on Twitter and Instagram soon. And then coming up, we're doing like a gold digger shoot, so that's going to be really fun. So definitely look for that as well. And I had to start a new TikTok, so follow me on Just Azalin at TikTok, and I want to really get that back up and going, because that was really fun to do, and I'm so sad that they took my last one down. So, but other than that, just anywhere at Azalin, you'll get some fun, creative chaos.
Awesome. And Andrea and I are the writers, the authors of Children of Midnight Coven, the game we've been playing tonight. Feel free to check that out at quickstart.childrenofmidnight.com. Get a free copy. We are in the process of adding the final 6 grimoires to the game. And as soon as we are finished writing those, we will be talking about how we are going to fund the game. So there may be a Kickstarter in the future or some other thing. So let us know what your favorite funding platforms are, and we'll definitely be considering them all, based on their ethics and everything like that. So we don't want to work with any people that are, causing problems in the industry. So yeah, let us know what you know, because we need info. Next week, Isabella Declan will be running Deseret on this channel. It is another Children of Midnight Coven campaign that they've been playing. They've played one session in the past, and they are going to be playing on alternate Tuesdays with us. So it'll be us, and then them, and then us again. Deseret is a Children of Midnight Coven campaign that is set in the Salt Lake City region, and rather than the Order, they have their own particular villain that I will let you...
Oh goodness, I can already see where that's going.
that I will let you join their game to find out more about. Their coven is very, very interesting. They are a void coven, so they worship the void. And gain their powers from the void. So Really,
I'm sure
really
the
cool.
local Mormons really appreciate that.
So yeah, that's very cool and really, really awesome players involved in that. Vice, who's here in chat, the Tiny Bishi, and Robot Rainbows are all involved in that game. So yeah, if you want to meet any of them, check them out in 1 week. And yeah. Thank you all so much for being here for our inaugural session. Part 2 will be in 2 weeks. If that doesn't coincide too difficultly with Valentine's Day. I think it is the 14th of February. So,
Oh, goodness.
yeah.
Yes, of course. My favorite holiday.
So yeah, we'll see how that goes. But we will keep you updated. Make sure to check out our Discord for the most up-to-date information regarding our game sessions, because Twitch does not make it easy for us to have our bi-weekly schedule. So yeah. So anyway, we really enjoyed having you here, and we will see you again in 2 weeks or so. Have a great night.
Ah, darlings. Mwah.